Happy freaking Monday, everybody. I'm here at Specialized 4-Wheel Drive, just doing a little checkup on Jade, see how she's coming along. I've been miserable without her, and I'm super anxious to get her back. Needless to say, it's been an interesting last couple of weeks. I don't particularly like couch surfing, and I'll be doing it very scarcely in the future, but it's been a huge blessing having a place to stay for Annie and I during this time that Jade's been getting worked on. So again, a huge shout out to Ken Nelson. I'm gonna get Joe over here. He's gonna explain what's going on.
Hey.
Joe Sands, the owner of Specialized 4-Wheel Drive, the guy who's been working on my baby.
Main problem found, 4-wheel drive issue. Probably due to running out of fluid. The chain was stretched out. 231 transfer case for you gearheads out there. And the chain was stretched out and slipping. So that needed to be replaced. Everything else was in pretty good shape except for one synchro key, and the spring was down at the bottom. I can't explain that. Probably an assembly problem when it was put together in the first place. The main problem was that the transfer case tail shaft was put on without sealant, without proper sealant. It was put on with strip caulk, dum-dum, some people call it. It was just leaking all over the place. That just doesn't work. So yeah. It's all good now.
At the back of the transfer case where it connects to the transmission, 3 out of the 6 bolts you were saying were actually like hand tight.
The bolts that held the transfer case to the transmission.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the gasket behind it, there was only kind of half a gasket, so it was a sloppy job.
While he was doing that, he also found that the transmission fluid was super milky.
Means water, usually means water
yeah.
in there, so that's all flushed out.
While Jade's been down and in the shop, a few other things I've been wanting to address for a long time. He's actually going to be taking care of. Like, the rear leaf springs have actually sagged about an inch from when I first got them, and so we've been kind of shooting ideas back and forth. One way to go about it is to actually just completely replace those springs with a higher, I don't know, not spring rate, but more arch.
Taller spring.
Yeah, taller spring.
Yeah.
And so I decided to go...
His idea, not mine.
I decided to go with 5-inch leaf springs. If the last springs were 4-inch and they sagged down to 3-inch, I'm thinking maybe if they're 5-inch, they'll sag down to 4-inch, they'll even it out. I don't know.
The math works out. But
the math, yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens, so that's where we're going with that. Besides that, little things like getting the speedometer actually reading the miles per hour correctly. It's just a speedometer gear, but it's something I've never...
It's handy.
Yeah. So she always reads about 10 miles per hour fast. So that's something I decided, let's just do that. Recently I was sent some Spartan kind of lunchbox style lockers. Did a little bit more research on it, and as far as daily driving, may not be the best bet. They're also a light duty locker. I sent them back to Amazon and I purchased Detroit True Track lockers, which is more of a limited slip differential.
And that was my idea.
That was his idea. He's done a lot.
It's just it's a better way to go.
The Dana 30 up front is now a limited slip differential, and you won't even notice it on the road, but then off-road, whatever tire loses traction, it'll give power, and
it just kind of keeps you from losing traction. But you have it's a true differential still, so it's much better for snow and ice.
Yeah.
Especially on road. If you get one tire up in the air, like up on the Rubicon, it's not the perfect thing for that. But for everything else, it's really a good choice.
With the Spartan locker, it was a lot easier of a job just swapping out the spider gears, and that whole contraption would just fit in there. With this True Track limited slip, you actually had to adjust the backlash, and it was the whole ring and pinion.
The True Track is a full-on, limited slip, so you have to replace the carrier. So the ring gear gets taken off the open carrier, put on, the limited slip, and then you have to set it up again. And I discovered that, for reasons I'm not quite sure I understand, the ring and pinion weren't set up well to begin with, and I had a little trouble getting it set up. But it's as good as it's gonna get.
It's as good as it's gonna get now, but it is a lot more complex job. I've never done one before, and it's not usually something that read online and going ahead and doing it yourself. It's a little bit more complicated than that. So
I think the person who put the ring and pinion in the first time might have done that.
Yeah.
It's not really a job for a garage mechanic.
Something important, and I'm really excited to see how she does off-road. The dogs, as you probably can see, are running around like crazy. His dog Lucas and Annie now are becoming best friends. She's probably gonna be running around playing throughout the entire vlog.
Some of Lucas's hair.
She does. And he's got hair in her mouth from Lucas. That's funny. While Jade's been in the shop, I've been bugging him every day pretty much, coming in to make sure he's staying out.
Not bugging, just checking up.
Something that I really liked about Joe is that he knows, he knows that I have a time frame that I like to get her back, but at the same time, is if he discovers something, he's very thorough about it. He says, okay, this is what I found. You have these different options you could go about it. This is what I would do. And he's not just, okay, well, this is what he said he wants done, I'm just gonna do it. He's been updating me every day besides me stopping in. Most guys who work on their own Jeeps, they're very particular on who's gonna work on them if it's not gonna be themselves. So I've been really happy with the work that Joe's been doing. And,
all my customers are just like you too, so I have to baby them all.
I knew off the bat that Joe and I were gonna get along okay because he has a CJ7, which if you guys didn't know, was my very first vehicle. So I'm hoping, I don't know if it's running great, right? You said mechanically sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hoping before I leave with Jade, he brings in his CJ7 so I can check it out. See what happens.
I can do that.
Yeah. I just really want to see it. It's like...
It doesn't have a topper doors on it. It's cold in the morning here.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Other than bugging him every day, I've been working on my own projects with Jade. I was able to take her doors off, since he didn't need the doors. And I've been restoring the doors, I've been filming everything. So I'm gonna be putting out that video soon here. They're getting all new seals, new paint, new panels, and I also took care of the rust that was forming, especially on the passenger door. A little bit of Pour 15, a little grinder action. A couple other things I'm doing is, since I just installed that light bar, and that's a really bright white light, I'm replacing the bulbs on the headlights with a really bright white light as well. And for the rear, I'm actually throwing on some LED solar panel lights that I'll use for cooking at night. We'll see how they do, but they are rechargeable with USB as well, so I just figured try that out. Normally I've been using my headlamp while I'm cooking, so.
You ever thought of a kerosene lantern?
That would work as well.
It would work.
Yeah. We'll see. There's always that. So I've been trying to stay busy while I've been stuck in Sacramento. Once I get Jade back, she's going to be good to go for hopefully a long time. Last but not least, something else that I forgot to mention. He's going to check out the squeal issue since I've been looking at that.
Oh, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah. One of the most important things I could probably get fixed.
You can hear this Jeep coming for half a mile.
Yeah. So you imagine how many hours I spend driving around in her just with that squeal all day.
Yeah.
So that's definitely high on the list.
I'm not sure what's going on there, but we'll get it.
Yeah. She won't leave until that's fixed. It's kind of been a break from the road trip, which sucks, but at the same time I'm taking care of some major things that it'd be a lot more of a challenge to get done on the road. Get them all done right at once and not have to worry about it. Depending if Jade falls apart as soon as I get her back or not, I definitely recommend you guys go see Joe at Specialized 4-Wheel Drive in Sacramento for all your Jeep and off-road 4x4 vehicle needs.
Well, thanks, Jake. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Joe, until tomorrow when I come and check up on her
and the
again.
next day.
Yeah. Jake, Alex, Jeff, thank you guys so much for your support. Truly appreciate what you're doing, guys. And to Jeff, I saw your message. Thank you so much for the kind words, and I hope that you and Jessica, your Jeep, can get on the road soon. I don't know where the time has gone, but I already have drill this coming weekend. So I won't be getting the road trip started again until next Monday. And that's when I also plan on getting back to my normal, filming each day that I'm on the road trip and uploading daily. A few months ago already I've said that I'm not going to be making videos every day if they're not going to be the type of content that I want for this channel. In the past I've done that, and that's why I'm doing it now. Being that I've been at a house for a lot longer than I originally anticipated, and that I'm not in Jade traveling on the road, I did not want to create content every day doing that. That being said, I don't want to be in this position again where I'm not able to create that content that I want. So going forth on this journey, I'm going to be changing things up a little bit so that I can continue to make the type of content that I want. So this has been a great opportunity for me to kind of step back and reevaluate how I want to go about things. As always, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you soon. Annie, did you make a new friend? You make a new friend? She was a little leery of him at first because he's so much bigger than her, but didn't take long. Here they come. Get him, Annie, get him.